Alright guys, take two. For some reason Law Replay crashed a second ago. I mean, that's Law Replay for you. But I was saying that, sorry I had to leave last night. Life came up, and so you know how it goes. But yeah, let's get started. Right away, purple team trying to be aggressive here and setting up an invade. And right now they got 5-on-3, and it would have been a decent invade, except what happens is purple side, I'm not sure who's the shot caller for him, but they stay a little bit too long here. Like, we're already at 1 minute and 25 seconds, minute 30. At this point, bot lane needs to be leaving because they're going to get to bot lane late, and they would lose out on a lot of XP. Now, it's not quite exactly how it goes down, but as a general rule, you don't want your bot lane, or top lane if they were invading red buff, to be staying this long, because now they're at 1 minute and 55. They're going to be way behind, especially if they don't pick up some kills or steal the buff. Now, we go through this here. They do force them out right away. No summoners are blown, and they do steal the buff. Now, this is a smart call by Volibear here, if I remember correctly. He realizes that they're going to probably run straight to my blue buff, and they do. And he rushes right over there, along with Draven, Soraka, and Orianna. Let's see what goes down here. Volibear had already smited, so you see that Paradox Muse smites, and even trade on blue buffs. Lucian is actually a little bit ahead, and you'll see that kind of play into a factor a little bit here. Lots of flashes blown on both sides. Amazingly, nobody dies. Good hook by Void Creature, but not really anybody there to follow up. And look what happens here. Lucian's already level 2. And the only thing that keeps MMR Acer 13 here alive is the fact that he's a Draven. If he's any other AD carry, his damage is going to be so far behind that he just gets destroyed. White Boy probably should have pressed his advantage more, but instead he let Thresh go in alone and get low, so now they're both low, and that's actually just a good job. Both flashes popped. White Boy picks up the kill on Soraka, and good Lantern by Void Creature to pick up the save, really. So all in all, it was a decent play bot lane, but you could have been a lot cleaner. You could have probably killed both of them and not really had to worry about any of that. But you've got a decent lead, so that's a good job. And overall, I'd say if you looked at it right now, blue team came ahead on that invade because of how long it took and how late they went. Purple side should have just made a decision and gone with it a little bit earlier. And you just get trades going on here. The Ormalar basically outplayed the new guy, the new champ, Vel'Koz. Really what happens is Vel'Koz has CDs here when he goes in, and he doesn't account for the fact that Orianna has a shield as well as her ignite. Well, Vel'Koz has ignite as well, but no shield because not Orianna. Orianna hits level 3, shields a lot of the burst, and takes him down. Up top, Sothasill's got a decent lead on Axel, and he's bullying him. He's Renekton versus Zac, so Renekton should be able to bully this lane fairly hard. He's doing a good job. Axel, you go in here, I'm not sure exactly why. Decent flash juke, but it does pop your passive, so I mean, now you don't have ignite or flash or your passive. And Renekton's got some health, he's got a health potion and he's got his Q sustained, so kind of a weird call on your part there. I probably would have just sustained as Zac and farmed it up. Bot lane's low as fuck. White Boy, you get executed here. And if I remember correctly, it's actually kind of funny to watch. So... oh yeah, okay, so White Boy just got executed. And honestly, it was a good job by Soraka and Draven to just kite him out. On blue side, you guys have got to be more aware of those minion waves. You've got a big lead, and honestly, if you just CS through that wave and pressure, Draven won't be able to come back to you. You're up 15 to 3 CS, you're up a level. You would be able to dominate him, but by you dying there, it basically, because you tried to go so aggressive when there was a huge minion wave against you, it lets Draven catch up a little bit and puts him a little bit more back into it. It's a good gank by Paradox, but Sothasill is Renekton and gets his E, double E off, blows Trundle's Ignite, right? No, I guess Axel's Ignite. He didn't use it earlier, my bad. And gets him out of there. Throws a ward down, and a little bit of a risky call here, to be perfectly honest. Trundle could have been camping this bush right here and been waiting for him, or he could have been camping up top if he had been really smart about it. But Sothasil does the right thing, I guess, and holds off, doesn't engage on Zach, waits for it to get to his tower, doesn't miss out on really much CS, uses his Q to stay up, and that's Renekton for you. You gank him, he doesn't really care, and he's just going to bully the lane. Just got trades going on back and forth here. You see that Soraka's just, throughout the game, Iron Corpse, this is one thing I noticed, you take too much damage in trades. You're Soraka, you're not Thresh, you're not Leona or any of the tankier supports, you're Soraka. Yes, you have a heal, but you're wanting to save that for Draven. So you should know that the enemy team, they're level 5 and 4, you're level 3, and I guess Soraka at level 4, but even then, you got to know that you're behind. You should be playing the farm game, having Draven farm under tower, healing him up whenever he takes some poke. You shouldn't be in there trying to trade and make plays, because right now you're very behind. And that's the difference, especially in solo queue, between the enemy bot lane being up by, say, 20 CS and a kill, or the enemy bot lane going 10-0 and single-handedly winning the game. You got to know when your lane is lost and when you can no longer really make a play for it unless you get your jungler down there, you make a really, really good play. You shouldn't be up there trying to poke and make trades anymore because you're too far behind at this point. You should let the lane go, let Draven farm up and try to recover as best he can, and not go in so ham, because otherwise you're just going to keep giving him kills, and White Boy could have gotten a lot more fed if that type of play keeps going on. Mid lane, Orianna throws down the ults. Vel'Koz lives barely, but you know. Too easy. That's a good gank there. Good use of the lantern. You guys saw that Draven was under-leveled. Not much you could do, and you go in and take him down. Poop line, little slow to respond. You probably should know that your team's going to get dove there. You were mid lane and you're kind of low mana, so there's not a whole lot you can do. Soraka, once again, you're trying your best here to make a play, but all it ends up doing is blowing both your summoner spells and putting you further behind. So that's where you got to take into account. Remember, you're losing. You can't keep on going in over and over again. You gotta know when the right time to back off is and just play some catch up. Meanwhile, top lane, already, like, you look at it and you think, okay, Renekton's got a kill, Zach's got a death, but Renekton's up 42 to 26 CS. That's a monstrous lead at 8 minutes in. At this point, Axel needs to be very careful just to even attempt to become a factor late game. Because if he keeps on the same pace, Renekton's going to just destroy him and carry the entire team, which I think is what happens. Spoiler alert. He chases him down here. Zach, being Zach, gets away. There's a lot of action bot lane. Once again, Iron Corpse, if I remember right. See, you're going too deep. You get poked a lot. You're really low. Use your heal on yourself, but it's still not that strong this early. You don't have much health. And you know that Lucian has already, he's pretty farmed up. You should know that you got to be more careful than that. It's just a matter of knowing it's okay to sacrifice some farm and stuff in XP when you're that far behind, because otherwise you're just going to keep giving him kills. Now Draven is going to be zoned. That's a good play on White Boy's part, zoning him completely from the wave. He's missing out on a lot of experience. White Boy, you probably could have just been a little bit slower in pushing the lane. Just last hitting, not using any wave clear. It's not bad, but if you had waited just a little bit longer, you might have been able to zone him from one more wave as well, to just kind of pressure your lead even more. But yeah, there was actually quite a bit of action early game. You see Poop Line come in. The Lantern was just used, so not a whole lot of escape, but Thresh lands a good flay, and because he's Volibear, can't really do much. And Soraka, once again, goes a little bit deep, but gets hooked. Lucky to survive there. Volibear turned around and bailed her out. We've got some camp going on top lane, but you've got to see that Paradox Muse is level 4. Meanwhile, the enemy jungler's already level 5, so the longer he stays up here trying to get Zac to recover, the farther and farther he's going to fall behind a Volibear who's farming up his jungle. Yeah, not much you can do at this point. He can actually, realistically, he could 1v1 and Thresh could go, or 1v2 and Thresh could go mid. But you just want to keep pushing that advantage. That Thresh Draven lane, especially when they're ahead like, or Thresh Lucian lane, especially when they're ahead like that. Very, very mean. And you see the roam coming down from top lane here. Lands a good stun, blows that flash. And that's a good job there. He gets him to blow the flash, but is smart enough to realize that he probably shouldn't dive quite yet. They've got his minion wave, and you know, it's a smart play on Sothasil and Orianna's part. Iron Corpse, you just got to stop getting hooked and stop engaging, man. You're way behind, and it's how you let it. You're letting them snowball it each time you die, and it just puts you further and further behind. You just got to be careful with that, man. I'm not really sure what else to tell you about that. Got the death ray coming in, blows a flash, and Omalar survives. Nice try there with the snipe, Bub Wubster. You see Renekton here, he's still in the mid lane, which is odd. It's odd because both top lane towers are still up, but top laners are both flowing mid. Trying to get some pressure and win mid lane for their team. That skin is pretty sick, by the way. Axel, you're going in here. You got to know that you and Paradox Muse are very, very behind. This Renekton is huge. So yeah, you guys brought him low, but you blew flashes, you blew ults, and it lets bot lane get more presence from Volibear because he sees you three mid not doing anything, and now Volibear heads bot lane and kind of helps their bot lane out a little bit. I'm not sure if he picks up the kills or not, but honestly at this point, anytime purple side bot lane isn't dying, they're slowly recovering because they got absolutely dominated. No offense, guys, but they got that early lead, and it all stems back to that invade that let them get an early level on you guys and get those early trades. White Boy actually takes advantage of that. That's a good play there. Poop Lion, you got to be more careful than that because now they're even snowballing even harder. Oh my god. Double kill. Does he get? There's no way. All right, good shutdown. Maybe a little bit over aggressive there, White Boy, because Soraka's not worth much gold anymore at this point. So you might not need that kill, and the shutdown's worth a whole lot more to Draven than that Soraka kill is to you. But overall, not bad. You did a good job bot lane, especially during the laning phase. Clearing wards, farming up the jungle. You got Orianna beating Vel'Koz in farm and got a kill on him. Renekton's still way up on Zac in farm, and Lucian and Draven are pretty even in CS, but Lucian's picked up 5 kills to Draven's 1. Meanwhile, both the junglers are actually decently even. Volibear's got 35 CS to Trundle's 29, but Trundle has picked up a kill. So both junglers are doing all right. Volibear, I think you need to be a little bit more communicative with your team. You guys are in Vent, so maybe not as many pings, but I don't know, it felt like Draven and Soraka didn't even know you were going in, and you're just kind of there 1v2, and now you're at half health for no reason, instead of being able to engage. Good hook there, kites him back with the ult. Honestly, at this point, Poop Line, you should probably give up on ganking bot lane over and over again, because they're pretty behind. I mean, even there, you went 1 for 1, and I honestly think blue side could have played that a little bit better and gotten 2 of you guys for nothing. I think they misplayed it a little bit. Paradox Muse, you're level 6. Renekton's level 9. Orianna's Mia, you got to know that. And at the same time, Vel'Koz, you got to know that your lane is roaming, so you need to roam and try and have an impact in other lanes. Orianna getting that kill there puts Renekton and her even further ahead of you. And so now the game's really starting to snowball. I mean, it's 9-5. Blue side has more kills, but purple side's really starting to dominate top and mid lane. And blue and bot lane's recovering a little bit as well. Alright, he's starting to proxy. Axel tries to contest it, but he's too far ahead of you at this point, Axel. I mean, honestly, he could probably have turned on you, but Vel'Koz is coming. So I think he saw that and ran off because of it. It's a smart play. Gets out of there and actually waits and stays. Picks up the kill on Vel'Koz because he knew he was going to go that way to defend the mid tower. It's a good pick. Poop Lion shows up just in time to make sure that they finish you off. Pops the passive, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's done. And really at this point, Renekton is now 3-1. He's got the second most CS in the game behind Orianna on his own team. And they're really starting to dominate. Orianna has the most CS and is 2-0. That's a scary thought because she's going to wreck team fights. So at this point, bot lane on blue side is really their main and only hope. Yeah, Soraka going a little deep, but White Boy, you're going all in over and over again for this Soraka. And although she keeps dying, she ends up doing a decent job at baiting you. Thresh, nice lantern. But she's baited you a couple times now where she dies, but you're only getting like 80 to 100 gold out of that, and Draven's gotten a shutdown or two out of you. Really saved him and kept him at least relevant. Vel'Koz, you ulted a little bit early there. You got to get a little... he's a new champ, so you probably don't have his range mastered quite yet, but you need to be a little bit more aware. Axel, don't blow your flash. You're chasing a Volibear there. You got to know that. You're not going to get the kill on Volibear chasing him. No point to blow your flash there.
Why, thank you.
Alright, you're getting some trading going on. Renekton's actually all the way to bot lane. He's been pretty much every lane in this game. Basically single-handedly saying, you're going to win mid lane, you're going to win bot lane. Refusing. That's a really strong carry from top lane, to be honest. At this point, sure, he's only got 3 kills, but he's made some very strong plays in every lane. Draven, you can't get hooked. That's all it comes down to. You got to know the champs you're against, man. Sure, Renekton's here, and he actually saves your mistake for you. Oh, dude. You hit the minion, Iron Corpse. The minion. But yeah, saw the Syl, good shutdown. Draven, be a little bit more careful. Just because it's 3v2, you got to remember that you are fairly behind. So be careful. Good roam from Vel'Koz here. That's what I was talking about earlier. You need to be... if you were quicker on that roam, you probably prevent Draven from dying, and you guys still get the shutdown on Renekton. And the kill, or you probably prevent Lucian from dying. Sorry, wrong team. But you prevent Lucian from dying and prevent Renekton from getting that shutdown pulled. Purple side, good rotation. You guys trade the top tower, with you already had theirs, for Dragon. Not bad. Vel'Koz, there's nothing you can do to contest that. At this point, Volibear is way ahead of Trundle. So Volibear is probably going to just keep counter jungling and pressuring Trundle's jungle because he can out 1v1 him. Trundle's pretty behind, Axel's very behind, and Vel'Koz is behind, so it's really falls onto Lucian and Thresh's shoulders at this point, whether or not they can land those types of hooks or not. Iron Corpse baiting with the Soraka, but still getting caught. Like I said, man, all game it's just a little too deep. Axel, good rotation down in bot. Draven, be a little bit more aware of where the enemy team is. This is kind of Purple's throw, and it really could have turned the fight around a little bit. Nice ult, White Boy. And then you get that. Beautiful ult from Orianna into Renekton, who's fed, and that's how you turn a fight around. Purple side threw hard, but blue team got greedy and overstayed, and didn't account for the fact that Orianna and Renekton are both very fed. And now Renekton is 7-2, Ori's 2-0-3. It's going to be really tough to shut this Renekton down at this point. And Orianna, that was a beautifully placed ultimate. I think you hit 3 or 4. And that right there is one of the main reasons why Purple side wins this, is I think they were a little bit, at least as far as Orianna and Renekton go, a little bit more coordinated than blue side. You guys were making plays individually, and Draven and Thresh did a good job. But then, I don't know, I feel like you guys lacked a shot caller. Maybe both teams did or not, but it felt like Renekton was rotating and making calls and plays, while blue team was kind of just kind of going through the motions, going here and there because it kind of looks like that's okay, but there wasn't one person saying, let's do this, now let's do this, let's do this. Your thought processes seemed a little scattered. This point is a 4K gold lead for purple side. It's not an insurmountable lead by any means, but that 7-2 Renekton and 3-0 Orianna would be scaring me pretty bad. I see at this point now, bot lane's lost its edge. Lucian's died 6 times. That's something that I really want to show you guys. He's 10-6 here. He was dominating the lane, and then he died 6 times. Sure, he's got 10 kills, but those 6 deaths, that's a lot of gold to the enemy team, especially when you throw shutdowns into there. And so what I've noticed, a lot of people at lower elos, they don't realize that just because you've got a lot of kills doesn't mean it gives you a free pass to go in and die over and over again. Right now, he's probably thinking to himself, and this isn't a criticism, it's just honest, he's probably thinking, I'm still playing pretty well, I've got 10 kills, you know, I mean, I've died a few times, but whatever, I'm good. But in reality, he's throwing very hard. He's got 6 deaths, most on his team by double it, second most in the game. Soraka's got 7 deaths, but we've already been over that. But you've just got to realize that you can't go in and die that many times and still expect to be able to carry. If you wanted to carry this game, you needed to play a little bit smarter. Void Creature Xeno, I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. I know your audio's fucked up, but if you do hear me, you played a very good game for the majority of this game. You landed good hooks and did a good job of not feeding. That's a good fight there. Good ults. Kill an Iron Corpse. But once again, Renekton comes in and he's just stupid fed. Get good follow-up, kill the Orianna. But here's Renekton. He's in here with Volibear. They're both tanky as hell. Renekton's fed. Vel'Koz, don't try to do that. You can't save him. You've got no health. That's just a free kill for Renekton. Axel, you too. You should know better. You see 3 of them. You go in for no reason. Not much you could do. Whoop. Swoop line, good follow-up. You know your passive's up. Lucian missing the ults. Happens, but whatever. See purple team immediately. After that fight, they have pings go off. Tower. And I feel like they had more coordination in that sense, that after they won a team fight, they didn't just, you know, run around and try and get more kills. They were like, all right, won that team fight, let's try and force this tower as fast as we can. And they go to it immediately. If they had any delay, you guys defend it. But they get the tower and the team fight win, and now they're up by 7K gold, and that's starting to be a lot more substantial lead. Iron Corpse, I'll say this, even though you have a lot of deaths, you did a good job of getting your heals off, your W and your ultimate, before you died in an effective manner so that your team would end up winning the team fights. Renekton, great job of getting their back lines and rotating in at the end of fights to finish it off. Game slows down for a little bit. Everybody's kind of CSing, buying, repositioning. At this point, if I'm purple side, I'm trying to force as many team fights as I possibly can with Renekton and Orianna. I don't want to fight this now because Renekton's top lane. I'd want to just be stalling this out, be at the tower while Renekton shoves that wave and he flows down to mid. Dragon's up, so Renekton should be flowing mid now, winning that team fight and getting Dragon or towers. He's going for the split push, but he's fed and he's Renekton. He's not the fastest pusher. Should probably not be going for the split push at this point. He should have been mid a little bit earlier to help his team with that. I think does he get this tower out of it? See, but here's blue side's mistake again. They win the team fight, but rather than going for the objective, they go in hard for more kills. And so now it's a 3v3 instead of a 4v3. And Trundle rotates top, but doesn't really matter. He's way behind. Good pickup by Lucian, made possible by the great hooks once again by Thresh. But Renekton at this point is doing the right thing because he didn't rotate earlier, so that's a mistake. But he does the right thing and stays on the tower and kills Trundle and gets it. Blue side does pick up 2 towers. It's a decent job. Purple side now knows that Dragon's up and they're pinging it and going for it. White boy, be smarter with your recalls. You didn't have to recall there. You could have taken 5 more steps, been perfectly safe in the brush. Instead, you recall in the middle of nowhere. Give Volibear a kill. And also, purple side's going to go ahead and grab Dragon. There's nothing blue side can do about it at this point. Jungler's incredibly behind. Renekton's a beast at the moment. At this point, what blue side should probably be trying to do is their best to peel for Lucian and let Lucian kite Renekton. Lucian does have high damage, even though he's got those deaths. He should be trying his hardest to stay in the back of the fight and not let Renekton get on him. If you guys avoid the Renekton and the Ori ultimate, you guys actually have a decent shot of winning the fight, or at the very least recovering. You get caught a little bit there, Rinny, but it doesn't matter because you're thick as fuck. Orianna, nice follow-up with the ult. And at this point, it's just a matter of time, assuming purple team doesn't go crazy and throw. But they're just winning fights, even fights where they're out of position at this point because they're so far ahead. And forcing towers, they don't even care. They get the Baron call, comes out. It's a good call. They're shoved. Purple side's jungler's not even there. They know that there's nothing blue team can do to contest it. There's no wards. Purple team. See, this game goes on. I'm looking at the timer for another 10 minutes. At this point, purple team most should clear that wave top, all group up, and just push mid and end the game. They've got great team fight. They're 2 carries that are good in team fights are ahead. Volibear's a tank, just a ridiculous amount of tankiness at this point, along with Renekton. They should just be grouping mid, forcing a team fight, and ending the game. They're a little bit stalled out. Not bad. Potential catch, but not quite. Trundle saves him. Shoving the lanes. You guys have an engage comp, not a siege comp, so you should be, you really needed to make the call here to just either go in or not. If you weren't going to go in, you guys should have done a 1-3-1, 1 top, 3 mid, 1 bot, and just shoved the lanes so that all lanes were pushing, and then tried to rotate and catch one of them either out of position or then engaged under tower now that all 3 lanes were pushing, and kind of pressures them a bit more. Instead, your Baron buff's starting to run out, and you guys really haven't done a whole lot of any team fighting or objective taking. It's sort of a waste of the buff. You guys really need to be trying to engage. There you guys go. You do finally engage, and even without all 5 of you guys there, it's a fairly easy fight. Or it should be anyway. Yeah. Lucian does get the kill on Orianna, but even then, there's not a whole lot he can do. The jukes. You guys probably shouldn't have traced Lucian here, actually. That's a good job by Lucian to basically waste your time. At this point, if Lucian dies, it doesn't even matter. He's been successful. The death timers are short enough, it's early enough in the game that he just basically, by doing this, he saved his team's inhib. If purple side had been a little bit smarter about this, they would have said, alright, fuck Lucian, and all just gone mid and ended the game. Or taken the inhib. Instead, he wastes their time, wastes time for Baron, and that's actually a pretty good play, Lucian. Nicely done. Volibear gets confused for a second, decides to stand still. Looks like this game ends in 5 minutes, so something should have a team fight or something coming up here soon. You've got good ward coverage by purple team in the jungle, at least decent. You see Thresh there, blue team split. Not much Thresh can do at this point. Kind of a shitty situation. Maybe wanted to be a little bit smarter before that, but really there's not much you can do. Renekton lands some stun, there's a Volibear there. Now it's a 4v5. Baron buff's gone, but it shouldn't really matter. You've got Volibear and Renekton, some of the best tower divers that you can possibly have. Both of them very thick. Volibear's passive's up. Renekton's trying to get the second proc of his E there. I saw that. Zach, that was a good E and ult. Soraka does a good job of keeping the entire team alive. Draven, you should have kited there. Draven, right here. Alright, so watch this. Let's watch this again. Renekton does a good job of initiating, but there's no follow-up. He goes a little bit too deep. And Zach sees that and lands a beautiful E ult combo on the majority of their carries. Look at that. Bam. Soraka, though, immediately throws down the ultimate. Throws down, I think, a heal on... see, she heals herself. Should have healed Draven. Would have saved him. But Draven, you can kite that. You could have kited that while auto-attacking, and that would have life-stealed, and you would have lived. During that fight, Renekton killed Trundle because he was just stupid ahead. But that fight should have been a lot cleaner for Purple side. Axel does a good job of keeping his team at least alive. But even then, it shouldn't have mattered. Soraka got to avoid the hooks. Once again, Thresh landing hooks all game. Oh, that ultimate, though. That's beautiful, Orianna. That's just exactly what you want to have happen. Beautiful ults. It only gets one out of it, but it does force this tower. Oh, Renekton's going in deep. He knows he's fed. Or he throws in a shield just in case. Volibear's just like, I don't give a fuck about your gun. But, went too hard for the kills. Volibear should have just turned and taken the tower. Probably would have saved Renekton because it would have been able to kite. Or, I mean, you would have been able to tank the tower. Oh, Orianna. They want you so bad. Oh, the beautiful shield. Did you guys see that? She shields the damage part of his W perfectly. Keeps himself alive. Shields that part. Throws on the Seraphs. At this point, blue side's getting greedy as hell. They just want him dead. Another shield. Will it be enough to survive? And oh my god, the great escape. That's a good mastery of her shield. Soraka, that's, I don't know if that ult was needed or not, but say thank you, I guess, Orianna. Nice escape. Draven can out 1v1 Lucian, even though Lucian's fed because it's Draven. You shouldn't be trying to 1v1 Draven Lucian. Draven excels in one-on-one fights with his Q. You excel more with your AoE because your ultimate destroys team fights. At this point, it looks like purple side's going to go for the Baron. Just kind of ensure that they can win this next team fight. They've got a 13k gold lead. They don't even really need to risk Baron at this point, but they're going to go for it. Make sure that they win. You see, blue side knows. Purple team doesn't really care. They can 2-man it while they zone. And purple team's so ahead that 3v5 is an easy fight. Renekton's dominating. Yeah, they get caught out. And now it's just a matter of them pushing to the Nexus, ending the game. I think purple team did a good job here of dominating. They probably could have been a little more objective focused at the end of the game a little bit earlier here. But really, that's a good job. That's how you can carry the top lane without using my playstyle of split pushing all game. That's more of a rotating and team fighting style, which is still very effective. And he did a fantastic job. Orianna, 5, 3, and 17, landed pretty much every ult. And I want to point out here that Draven recovered here to 10, 5, and 5. And even Soraka, even though she got caught over and over, 3, 10, and 12, did a good job. Volibear out-farmed and out-ganked Trundle. Trundle fell behind. Not a whole lot he could do. And yeah, all in all, purple side had a really well-played game. Axel, I know that, guess last thoughts would be, Axel, I know that Renekton's a tough lane for Zach, but you need to try and not let him get those kills. Even if you lose the lane and he's up by, say, 20 CS, that's a big difference than him having 6 kills and up by 40 CS. Vel'Koz is a new champ. Try to master him a little bit more. I think you don't quite understand all of his spells or his combos, while Orianna, I think, has a lot more experience on Orianna than you have on Vel'Koz, and that's why she was able to outplay you. Thresh and Lucian did a good job in lane phase. You guys Lucian, you need to learn how to snowball your lead more and not die quite as much, especially when you have such a high lead and you're so important to your team. Thresh, not a whole lot to say to you. You did fantastic. Landed most of your hooks. Pretty decent positioning. You got caught out once, but that can happen to everybody. Maybe a little bit better on your wards in your own jungle when you're behind. Some defensive wards, but otherwise not bad. But all in all, I think everybody played pretty well. Blue team made a decent attempt to try and come back, but just not quite enough. GG, everybody. And like I said, if you have specific questions or if there's something you feel like I didn't address properly, just let me know. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. And I just got an email from White Boy. Apparently the replay from the original coaching session, the second replay, still is having issues, so I will try my best to get that working as soon as I can, if I can, but I apologize for that. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and upload this and message the Thresh page or comment on the YouTube channel if you have questions or comments or whatever. And yeah, I hope you guys at least enjoyed it a little bit. Once again, sorry I wasn't able to do this live with you.